So hello everybody and welcome back to another live video. Hit the intro. So this is just a bit of a quick catch-up video because I've spent quite a bit of money just lately on buying things, and you may have watched my lens and my camera body unboxing video, but I also did miss out my monitor, so let's start there. So I bought a new AOC monitor to replace my little bit broken Acer, which I sent away quite a long time ago now to get fixed, and they broke it more and then wouldn't fix it for me. I had been using one of my sister's old TVs, which was like, well, you can't even see, not that big. It was a pretty big TV. Didn't have a very good resolution like most TVs, to be honest, I've noticed. And so it wasn't brilliant for, sorry about my hair, wasn't brilliant for doing stuff online, especially reading small print. So I finally got around to buying a new one. I do believe I bought a 24-inch horizontal one there, not horizontal, diagonal, not horizontal, which also means I can now use the monitor I got for free as well as that dual monitor setup. I think I showed you it quickly in one of my videos, but I thought I'd just briefly page over it. It's really, I got it for about £100 this new monitor, and like I say, I got my second one for free from FreeCycle. Brilliant website, check it out. And it works really well, especially for sort of editing these videos, because I can drag and drop stuff into the main window while one's on the side, or if I'm working away on one, I can sort of watch a video on the other. It's really handy that way. The bass is a bit wobbly on it, and I did get one with speakers in it, and they're terrible. That's why I ended up hooking up my old CD player to use those speakers, because they're a lot better. But for the money, I think it's really good. It's a lot better for my eyes. It's a lot sharper. I'm noticing the difference for my eyes. So that's all good. So next, hopefully you can tell, or I can tell at least, because I can see what I'm doing right now. Look, I'm looking at myself. And I can see if I come close to the camera, not everything gets totally blurred. I mean, this gets blurry, but I can focus it if I want. Ready? So look, look. Focused. Focused. So yeah, I'm using my new camera to film this on, my Nikon D5300. So why did I go for that body? Well, basically, there's nothing wrong with my old D5000, which I have here. It still works well. It's just, it was showing its age a little bit. It wasn't doing quite everything I wanted it to do, because it would have been really handy to have, like, a side note was I wanted to be able to try and make my videos. I wanted to try and make these videos on my camera as well rather than my phone, because it would give me much greater control over it. And so this one lets me do that. This one would only shoot 5 minutes, I do believe, in 720p, whereas at the moment I can shoot up to 10 minutes in 1080p. It's 60 frames per second on this camera, so much better. Also means I can hopefully keep track of the time a bit better. Another little thing I really liked when I bought this camera, because I've had this 3 years now, I like the fact it had a flip out screen, but the problem is it flips downwards. Now that's okay if you're holding it and you want to sort of look at yourself, but the problem is if you put it on a tripod, you then can't see this screen if you're able to flip it down at all, whereas the D5 or D5300 flips out to the side. So that's quite a lot better. So like I can see myself while I'm shooting this, make sure I'm still all in frame. My hair has gone terrible today. Like, I do not know what's going on with it. I think I need a haircut, but it seems to have gone sort of straight. This is how I take so long to do videos, because I just ramble on and do crazy stuff. But so yeah, that's one of the main reasons. Another reason is I don't remember the megapixels on this one, but I know my D5300 has, I do believe it's just under 24 megapixels. And I crop quite a bit into a lot of my jewelry pictures, so that should give me a much better resolution. Also, the D5300, I do believe, has the new sensor from Nikon, and so it should give me much sharper images for my photography, especially for my jewelry work. I went to Alton Water again. I had a previous video about that, but did it again and took some more pictures with my new lens, which I'll come on to in a second. So yeah, that's basically the main reason I bought this camera. Also, it would have been nice to have gone for a full frame camera, but most of the ones I saw didn't have that flip out screen, which I really kind of wanted. I went for a Nikon again because I had a really good time with my D5000, which was second hand when I bought it, and it's still, like I say, it's still working fine. It's kind of sitting on my shelf at the moment just as a backup in case I ever need another one, or if I ever want to do sort of two camera perspective type things. I don't know, it's just there in case I need it. I get a few more features on the Nikon D5300, which I bought as well. Like there's multiple exposures that I want to play around with maybe, and all good things like that. So basically it's just it should be a much better camera and give me much sharper images, especially when I crop in a little bit for work. And like I say, if I can get these videos done on there as well with being able to see myself, so I don't have to guess like on my phone where I am in the shot. Also, when I get a bit closer, it doesn't blow me out of. I mean, I get a bit brighter, but for instance, when I was doing this on my phone, it was going crazy and literally blowing out the whole thing. So hopefully this gives me much more control over that and means less editing. So we're coming up to about 8 minutes, or we are at 8 minutes. So why did I buy a new lens, and why did I buy the 18-105 kit lens? Basically, a bit like with my camera body, it was down to price. I wanted to get something as good as I could for as less as I could afford it, and that's why the D5300 came into play. It was like the best one within my price range when I was looking around. Similarly with the lens, I was going to get a kit with the 18-140 lens, but unfortunately I went to a price I couldn't afford. And so I ended up with the 18-105 second-hand one from Camera Jungle. It seems to be working really well. It's really sharp. It's much sharper than my old kit 18-55, which I have here. Also, I've noticed since I've taken this off my D5000, there's a really weird clicking sound around about the 30mm mark, which doesn't sound good to me. And so on the experiments I've done so far, the 18-105 seems a lot sharper than my old 18-55, which should give me much better photos. I sometimes like to go out and take wildlife photos, like my autumn water trip, not in the last couple of days. It means I can actually zoom in a little bit further without having to crop in so much. I've got some really good photos of some dragonflies. I should pop them in here. And so yeah, it just gives me a little bit more flexibility. I know if I really want to do wildlife photography, I need to take my lenses up to like 300mm and spend stupid money, but I don't often do that. I tend to take more obviously like portrait styles, which should be okay for really close-up pictures of my jewelry, which I think I'll still have to use my old 18-55 because I actually bought some sort of magnifying lenses that screw on the end, and obviously this only has a 52mm filter thread, whereas my 18-105 has a 67. So unless I spend some more money either on probably what is it, teleconverter tubes or something like that, extension tubes, that's what I'm looking for, they would probably be the better answer, but they're quite a bit more expensive. And since I already have the magnifying lenses for the end of this, I might carry on using them because they do give me fairly good results. Also, my 18-55 focuses a little bit closer, so even though I can zoom in a bit further with this one, I can get a bit closer with the 18-55. I'm looking to get maybe a prime lens, maybe actually a dedicated macro lens, but they're expensive as well, so I'm going to have to save up a little bit for those. But yeah, so new body should give me sharper images, more megapixels so I can crop in and it still be a lot sharper than my old D5000. New lens should get me closer to a lot of nature things I want to do, like the dragonflies I was talking about. Much better quality images, hopefully. I can have much more versatility with the slightly longer zoom of the 18-105. So I am filming this on my D5300 at the moment. On my 18-105, I'm at 35mm at the moment at f4.5, and it looks pretty good to me. So yeah, that's just a quick catch up on pretty much why I bought those. Like I say, I have been using Nikon, and I guess I know like the camera, like the filming part wasn't the major. That was just like I wasn't buying this camera just for the video. I know if I wanted just the video, I should buy a dedicated video camera, not a DSLR. But because I take a lot of pictures for my jewelry work, this seemed to be the best sort of all-rounder for me at the time. And the lens was the sharpest at the time because I had been looking at, I do believe it was either 17 to 70 or 18 to 70 Nikon lens, which I think I went into it when I went on my unboxing video. It was made a little bit better. It had a metal mount, but it didn't have vibration reduction, and was slightly older. And when I was looking around, like, oh, it's getting a bit darker. The clouds will come in. When I was looking around on websites for reviews on them both, either one website would say 18 to 105 much sharper, or one website would say 18 to 70 is much sharper. And so I did all that, I looked on DxOMark, and it seemed to me that with the slightly extra reach, the vibration reduction, because I do have quite shaky hands sometimes, and the scores on DxOMark on this particular camera, it looked like the 18 to 105 just pipped the post. It was a little bit more expensive. It was about £20 more expensive. I kind of wish I could have rented the other one just to have a look at it, but what are you going to do? So yeah, I'm really happy with what I've got so far. I will be churning out more and more of these, hopefully, and doing much more videos. And I think I should leave it there. Just for sake of it, let's wiggle back down to 18mm. And so yeah, I'm thinking of getting a 35mm lens because that will work quite well when I want to take videos. Also, I take quite a lot of pictures, it seems, at the 35mm mark, but that's going to be, if I can find one, probably secondhand, quite good. But this 18, I think this is slightly too wide, whereas 35. So yeah, whereas 35 seems to be quite nice framing, I think. Also, because I'm only at f4.5, that's the lowest I can go at 35mm. It does blur out the background a little bit, whereas my phone wasn't, so you were able to see everything. So it's a little less distracting back there because I don't have the best place to film. But yes, rambling anyway. Leave your comments down below on all my choices. Obviously, the monitor's just a monitor. There's not much you can say about it. Does have a 1 millisecond response time, which I found is weird because you wouldn't think that'd make much difference, but it turns on like that. It's just sharp as anything. Speakers were terrible there. Tell me what you think about the camera choice, maybe. Obviously, I know that I could have got a proper dedicated video camera, and there's dedicated lenses with really fine focusing. And remember, I was on a pretty tight budget, and it's got a splashing out treat myself. So let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Remember to like, subscribe, do all those shenanigans. Thumbs up, thumbs down, and whatever. Do what I tell you to do if you're a sheep. And I shall leave it there. So I hope you have a good day, and I shall see you next time. Sparks out. I give you my top 5 reasons why you should grow a beard. Without further ado, draw those pictures.